interest in hustler funds. And I want to commit myself, Mr. Speaker, that you can set aside time that I can come and meet the members out of the normal session so that we are able to explain in detail how hustler funds is working and how it can help the members, also the members, your members from your constituencies who helped you to come to this house. So if you will give me that opportunity, I will avail myself, Mr. Speaker, to do that. But on the issue of labor mobility, we are working with the Ministry of Labor, and I saw the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Labor was here. We are working, and our role is actually to provide finances. So the entire selection, the entire identification of the opportunities that are there overseas is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. So as soon as they identify those particular people, they just forward a list with the documents, necessary documents, to prove that these people actually have got a job overseas and they have the necessary documentation to travel and they have a letters of appointment, then we facilitate them. So far, we have facilitated 200.
Order, Honorable Senators. May we hear the Honorable Sears in total silence.
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
268 Kenyans.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi, I thought you're the one who asked these questions. Proceed, Honorable Sears.
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268, but this, to know where they have gone, if they have not gone, that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. My role is just to get a list with the necessary documents from the Ministry of Labor, and then we facilitate the financing. And my responsibility ends there. To know who went, who never went, where they are going, that information can be availed from the Ministry of Labor. On the issue of Nyota and Gadget, honorable members, this is a very important initiative that you as members of parliament, you should get aware of, because this is a joint initiative with the Kenya government, with the World Bank, and it involves about 33 billion Kenya shillings. Already sensitization program is going on. Unfortunately, the sensitization program is going on with the members of the National Assembly because the selection of the beneficiaries is based on wards. So they thought that members of parliament would be the best ones with the member of the county assemblies, so that these people are sensitized to apply, and you have to apply on your phone. It's a digital application process. So unfortunately, the members of National Assembly have been sensitized, they are aware of it, and unfortunately the Senate have not been properly included. And I want also to commit myself that you are members of parliament, so you must be aware of what is happening. And I also commit myself that given opportunity, because this is a very important initiative, I'm ready to come and actually sensitize you or take you through the program. On the issues raised by my Secretary General, Mr. Sifuna, I don't remember. I know we were in the same boat that time. Yeah, but I never heard of this money being a grant. That was the truth. I only was in the same boat when we were saying that this money should not be paid. But now I'm in a different boat, I'm saying that Kenyans who have borrowed this money should pay. Because I feel that this money is a good initiative that will help many Kenyans. Unfortunately, when such initiatives come up after an election, members of the public think that they are being rewarded. And that's why we had so many defaulters when the fund started. But let me assure members of parliament who are here that we are working on a system where we will ensure that this amount is recovered so that more Kenyans benefit from this money. But please note that out of the 20 million Kenyans that started borrowing from this fund, 2 million of them have proved to be good borrowers. And these good borrowers, we have introduced a bridging loan. These are the people who have been given a good limit, a better limit for them to borrow up to 150,000. So out of the 20 million, 2 million have been promoted to what we call a bridging loan, so they can be able to access this fund at 150,000. And let me tell you that this fund is working very well. It is helping many Kenyans despite the initial problems that we had. On the issue of Hustler Fund helping cooperative, Hustler Fund is a different product. It's a digital, we use a digital platform to access, use your phone. You do not interact with any individual. So it will be difficult to take that particular fund again, divert it to cooperatives. However, in the Cooperative Bill 2024 that is before the Senate, there is a provision of creating a cooperative development fund. And it is through that fund that now, based on how you will pass it here, that is the fund that we will use to support cooperative specifically. And it will be a levy collected from cooperatives, also government allocation to that fund, so that now we can scale up the operations of most cooperatives, especially those in the critical value chain. The issue of providing records, I've clearly said here, providing records of Hustler Fund. I've clearly said here, Hustler Fund is a digital platform facility. If you want a printout, I can do it. But if you go to our website, it will show you how it is operated. But I have committed myself that Hustler Fund is a critical fund that I think it helps a lot of Kenyans, that I will come here and explain to members so that they know how this fund is working. So I know there are bad debts. I've admitted myself that there are bad debts, and we're working to see how that can be recovered. But one member said that I paid the 6,000. 6,000 was a promise by Asmio, and as you know, Asmio lost the election, so maybe you organize yourself so that if Asmio comes into power, if they have a chance of coming into power, then they can be able to pay for the 6,000 to pay for the 6,000 shillings. But we are in the Kenya Kwanza government. They have their own priorities, and since we are now under the broad-based, we are now working towards those agenda of theirs. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of us knowing how these funds are used, because one member of parliament here mentioned the issue of Kamari. With Hustler Fund, it will be difficult for us as a ministry to follow what the individual use that money. But other funds like Kenya Industrial Estates, KIE, those ones we are able to follow, we are able to monitor and make respective reports, because this is targeted money to make sure that it is given to entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs use it properly, they pay back with interest of 8%, is a specific period, and is supposed to help the entrepreneurs to grow, to create more employment. So that will be easier to monitor, and that's what we do. Weather Fund, we do the same, but Hustler Fund, it will be difficult. On the question of Eddie, about the legal impact, let me assure you that we are in the process of doing that. We have commissioned a consultant to help us come up with the impact assessment of Hustler Fund. But I want to assure you that Hustler Fund is operated by two private service providers, that is Safaricom and Kenya Commercial Bank. Kenya Commercial Bank is the custodian of funds, but the operation is carried out by Safaricom. So we are in the process of carrying out an impact assessment, and I'm hopeful that in the near future we will give you a report on that. On the last one raised by my friend Mungatana, I just gave Kakamega as one example that where we were 2 weeks ago. Next Friday we are going to Marsabit, and we have a whole program involving 47